I need someone who wants to spoil somebody and buy me some clothes.
This does not even deserve a captain's log introduction, because this is dead serious.
How's it going, everybody? Tophiachu is back in full swing. This video has it all. We've got a little bit of hypocritical. We've got a tad bit of Tophiachu begging for the GoFundMe money. We've also got a surprising amount of Tophiachu being on a love quest, and that's one of the craziest things I've heard all week. But to be honest with you, I kind of think I know the reasoning Tophiachu is all of a sudden on this love quest. It's because apparently Tophiachu has been in contact with the people in charge of GoFundMe, and whoever she spoke to said they're going to be getting the money to her really soon. So Tophiachu is excited, and I'm going to tell you the one part that's missing in this video. It's Sachu. It's full ego, and to top it all off, it's filled with crash outs because Tophiachu, when she's got an ego, she's ready to combat everybody. There's no sympathy baiting in this one. She doesn't care about your guys' feelings or how you perceive her. The only thing Tophiachu cares about is that she's getting a couple $1,000s here soon, and she's thinking of all the ways that she can spend it. TikTok be damned, and forget about the Reddit too. She's got thousands at the moment. But there's one thing Tophiachu has realized since she's been on the streets, or technically since she's been alone. She needs another Chew Cruiser. She's desperate to get one. She needs someone in her life who's willing to take her places, buy her things, so she doesn't have to work. Because she got thousands of dollars before, and she's like, whoa, that actually kind of went pretty fast. When you're actually spending money and having to be responsible for yourself, bills add up, and expenses do too. This is crazy. I can't just spend all of my money at a Comic-Con and still end up in my brother's car. This is so confusing to me. So I'm thinking right now, Tophiachu's like, okay, my only option in the world since getting with Mamachu again is starting to seem slimmer every single day. Like, we don't hear Tophiachu mentioning Mamachu as much. Every time she's on the phone with her, she hangs up almost immediately. So I'm starting to think Mamachu has got a setup right now, and Tophiachu just isn't allowed around it or allowed to stay there, so she's a little bit jealous at the moment. So she's got to find her a man, like, because if she spends all of this GoFundMe money that she's about to get and she gets nothing in return, like she doesn't end up in an apartment or even having a car, Tophiachu knows she might be in a little bit of trouble. And don't get me wrong, guys, I'm not saying Tophiachu might still spend every single dime and end up in the exact same situation she's in right now. Like, that's Tophiachu for you, so don't get it twisted. That could still happen.
If you literally comment on my page, you're gonna get blocked. If you say I'm a horrible human being, I'm just gonna block you. I'll help you out. You don't know how to block yourself? I'll tell you how to block yourself. Hate watching people do not have a life. I said what I said. You don't like it, you can move. There's a door, you can kick rocks. Hate watching people do not have a life. Because if people that hate watch had a life, they wouldn't be hate watching someone. I saw a Jeep. I want a Jeep. I'm gonna work towards getting me my Jeep. I saw the most beautiful Jeep I've ever seen in my life. Okay, anyways, that's probably the love of my life is a Jeep. The love of my life is a Jeep. Okay, I said it. I'm just kidding. Well, not technically. I want a VW old school bus, which I'm still gonna get that. And I do want a DeLorean. And I want a... Oh, there was a car that I saw. What was it? It was a Dodge Challenger. Someone tried to say that I scammed people out of thousands of dollars. So I called them out. Then they were like, oh, well, you're stealing stolen art, or you're selling stolen art. So you have enough confidence in me to even sit here and say that I sold $1,000 worth of stolen art? You have that much confidence in me to literally sit here and say that I sold $1,000 in merch. I haven't even sold anywhere close to that. I'm not even promoting my merch. For you to have that much confidence when I could just go to the page and show how much money I've made from selling merch, it is not a lot. Mind you, the money is not only for my brother to be buried, it's for us to get a place and move. So maybe stop telling people I don't have right to access to money and stop lying. The money that I spend is the money that I get from TikTok and from YouTube and from Instagram and everywhere else. That's the money that I'm spending. So stop telling people who earned their money how to spend their money when you didn't earn the money, and you don't get to tell people who earned money how to spend it, especially because I worked for that money. When someone sees me out somewhere, they always assume that I'm buying something. Okay, well, maybe I just like to go out and look around and window shop, you know? Okay, you heard the song by 50 Cent, man. Use a window shopper.
Tophiachu needs to watch when she's talking about the hate watchers, because she's in a very fortunate position compared to someone like Cyrax, who we're also going to bring up again in just a second. Like, Cyrax gets 0 ad revenue from all of the people that watches him throughout the day, and Tophiachu, you get a good amount of viewers who subscribe to you just to say whatever they want, and you do that on purpose because you know that's the only reason you're going to allow this for the most part. Sometimes Tophiachu doesn't have it on subscriber only mode, but for the most part she does. So when you're trash talking these people, like, you need to calm down. Like, these people are funding your entire career. She even says at some point in this video, I think I cut it out, but she says she got 12 million views on her TikTok sometime this month. It might have been on her Instagram. And TikTok views and Instagram views are a little bit weird, so I don't know what that would equal out to, but it's gotta be a decent amount, like probably a decent amount. But I seriously doubt it's enough for her to go on to talk about all of the cars that she wants. If anything, she needs a Geo Metro, something that costs like $200. It's gonna drive forever, and you know what? Even if you wreck it a little bit, you can keep on going, because just like Cyrax, it's crazy that you could even daydream about having a DeLorean or anything like that. You literally don't set yourself up with a job or anything to support yourself to even have those kind of goals or aspirations. Like at the very least, you should be thinking 1-bedroom apartment, 24/7, and that's included with some roommates. Now, you're a little bit lucky, as we said earlier, with the TikTok funds, but still, yeah, you just don't earn enough, Tophiachu. And New Mexico, it's like, I believe it's in the middle of the pack when it comes to how expensive it is. I remember looking up minimum wage, and I think it's $17, and that's typically a good indicator of how much everything is in general. But what am I saying? Get a job. Tophiachu's gonna find her a man. Maybe Cyrax, you know? I heard him say last video I put out that he's like a mechanic, he can get stuff done, and Tophiachu, you're probably going to need a lot of mechanical work, you know? Don't put him off just yet.
I'm tired of that narrative. Like, okay, so what if I date someone super attractive? Then what? Then what are you gonna say? Oh, they're just being friendly. Oh, they're just this, they're just that. Like, stop being jealous. All you have to do is be nice, and people will like you for who you are. You know, that's a good tip right there. If you are a nice, genuine person, people will like you. That's why people miss me, okay? And not you. Clock it. So when I was a baby in '94, he had a mental break that was so bad my mom didn't understand what was wrong with him. He started acting like a child, and basically they rushed him to the hospital to see what was wrong because something was not right, and that's when he found out he had bipolar. And so ever since then, I've had, like, my family has never been really strict, but I've never been able to do anything without, like, my dad, like, okay, so I've been with my family my whole time. I've never been, yeah, I've liked people, but I've never went and dated anyone or put relationships in a sense of, like, oh, like, focusing on relationships or dating someone. So I was just at the library, hold on, and I was sitting there, and so, then this guy, he was like, oh, what did he say? He was like, oh, he was deaf, he didn't say anything. He wrote me, like, a note saying, oh, do you want to go back with me to my place and have a drink? I'm like, oh, heck no. I had this guy follow me around because he was looking at my butt, okay? Let's be for real. This guy was a veteran. He went to Iraq. He gets paid from the VA, I guess. He's got money. I told you guys this story. He wanted me to go with him by myself, and I didn't know. So I invited my friend, so I was like, let's go. He's taking us to the movies. I didn't know. I was like, oh, I'm going to wait for my friend. She's coming. So we go, right? That guy was standing there, and it was really creepy, so I had to get up and go. Anyways, so then he was like, so he stayed behind, he was walking behind them, and I was walking like with him, and he's like, maybe next time it could just be me and you. And that's when it clicked to me. I was like, oh, you just met this chick, right? At the bus station, because the first time we met him, he invited to get us Taco Bell or something. So I was like, okay. We go over, or so I'm going to sit at the table because their daughter texted me and was like, he's staring at your butt. So I was like, okay. So I was just being funny while I was covering my butt, because she was like, yeah, he was looking at you when you went to get up to get silverware or whatever. And I was like, okay. So then when I called my mom to tell her I was going to stay with my friend, he says, oh, you could stay with me. You don't even know me. You don't even know me, sir. And you want me to stay with you? That's weird. And I was like, my brain was like, nah, she's gonna stay with me. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stay with my friend. I'm not gonna wake up in the middle of the night, this guy's like looming over me. He was old enough to be my dad. I was like, bruh. And that's not even like, there was one guy that was drunk on the bus, right? And he was talking to my mom. He was telling her he was interested in me. And my mom was joking with him like, oh, you gotta talk to her dad. You gotta go through her dad. And I'm like, he literally admits he has a daughter closer to my age. I was like 18, 19 at the time. This guy was like in his like 40s. And I left, and I haven't seen him since the hospital when he was holding his stomach, because he was really sick at the hospital holding his stomach. But yeah, it's so weird. Like, these men are weird.
So when Tophiachu was talking to that catfish, the live streams that she was doing around that time, she was constantly talking about how she doesn't really need a man, and whoever she is with, it's none of anyone's business, so don't even bug her about it. And a lot of us was just thinking Tophiachu was bragging, but now I'm starting to think that's Tophiachu's tell, that she's talking to somebody and she's head over heels for them. And it's kind of crazy that she's already trying to get into a relationship after what happened to her just like, what, 2 weeks ago? It might not even have been 2 weeks ago, but she's still diving head first into this. And that just leads me to think more in my theory that she knows she's in a little bit of trouble if she doesn't find someone soon, so she's got to. Like, when it was just Mama Chu and Brother Chu in the car, when someone would ask Tophiachu about a relationship, she'd be like, no, I don't even need anybody in my life. I got my family and that's how I want it. You know, maybe later on, you know, I'm 31 now, when I'm like 50 years old, I might finally think of meeting somebody and potentially having kids, because Tophiachu has this weird mindset where she thinks 31 is still relatively young, like, and 31 is young, but not for just starting a job, getting your license. That stuff should have happened like a decade ago. And not saying you should be married by 31 either. It's just like, you know, Tophiachu's just starting really late and everything. But in all honesty, I don't even think Tophiachu understands a relationship. She obviously only wants in it for the financial gain. Like, she just wants you to take her places, buy her things, and that's it. Like, anything else, she could care less what comes along with it. And an absolute must is you must go to every Comic-Con every single year. I don't care what expenses need to be paid. You guys can end up in a hotel room, but Tophiachu must go to the Comic-Cons. Maybe that's why she wants the DeLorean, so if she messes up, marries the wrong guy, she can go back in time, start around the Chu Cruiser era, and start it all over again. And what's funny is, it seems like Tophiachu has always viewed relationships as something to gain from, instead of something to enjoy, a mutual relationship with somebody. When she was taken out by somebody who was like 40 some years old, I think that's what she was saying, around 40 or 30 years old, the guy instantly knew how to get to Tophiachu's heart. He's like, I'll give you some Taco Bell for free, and Tophiachu instantly was like, I'm going with this guy. I don't know who he is really, but he's kind of into me, and he's gonna give me free Taco Bell. That's what I'm into. I'm gonna get my friend to come along with me, and I'm pretty sure this story's like far in the past, but still yet Tophiachu takes full advantage of this guy, goes gets Taco Bell, and then later on just ditches him, forgets all about him, and then ends up meeting another guy on the bus while she's sitting next to Mamachu, and he's just straight up telling Mamachu like, hey, I want to be with your daughter. And Mamachu, she's got a great defense. She's like, oh well, you should meet Papachu first. And anyone who would meet Papachu would know Tophiachu's got to be avoided at all costs. Papachu's sitting there, so you get zillionaire? Do you think I could be president? Are you an authority of any kind? Do you work for the government of any kind? And if you answer any of those questions wrong, you're already out on the street. And to top the story off, Tophiachu does something so in character. This person is taking care of her. Well, I mean, kinda. He bought her some Taco Bell and he was hitting on her. And Tophiachu, the last time she saw him for some reason, is she ends up in the hospital with this dude. Like something seriously wrong with him. And Tophiachu just abandons him, never talks to him again. She's like, oh, I wonder if that guy's fine right now. Last time I seen him, not good condition. But you know what? Probably everything's all right. Like kind of how it seems she's treating Mamachu at the moment. Just a little bit.
First of all, those 2 videos that I posted of me doing clown makeup, I did that makeup before my brother, when he was alive and we were staying in town suites. For you to be sitting there bold-faced lying to people and telling people that I spent GoFundMe money on makeup is crazy, considering the fact I already had that makeup and I have proof. I'm gonna pull up all the receipts, the order receipts from Amazon where I paid for this makeup, the dates and everything. If you go to TikTok and look at the dates, which I'm going to circle the date that I posted the video on TikTok, it was last year when my brother was alive. Let's not lie. I wanted to talk about something because people be so funny. You know that post that I reposted of Freddy Cougar saying he got cracked or whatever? I posted it because it's Freddy Cougar. Like, why would I post something even telling anyone that I got cracked? If something like is personal to me, I'm not gonna tell the internet. That's like funny. I just wanted to say that. There's an airplane that keeps doing circles. I don't tell you nothing. If I was with someone, you wouldn't know. And I'm not with someone, but people are so cruel. They're like, who would touch you? You know, I'm just, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna, never mind, I'm keeping that to myself. But anyways, people are like, my childhood hero. I'm like, that guy was your childhood hero? You need to reevaluate yourself. Do you? Well, if you have a crush on me, I'm sorry. I don't even know how. Like, I'm gonna tell you, gonna have to fight someone, but anyways, should have been, it should have, never mind, I'm kidding. Does anybody want a wife? Well, I know someone who wants a wife. Anyways, they probably watch my stuff, so they're probably gonna be, oh, how dare you. Anyways, what I was gonna say is that when I look back on his career, right? Because I used to like Hulk Hogan, not gonna lie. When I was younger, you know, when you're younger, you don't understand things. But because it was like the Attitude Era, I think it was, you know, like it was Heartbreak Kid, Triple H. It was Stone Cold Steve Austin, which is my brother's favorite. He has a talking Stone Cold Steve Austin doll in storage. That's like really cool. That I used to like Hulk Hogan, but looking back on his career now that I'm older, he was not that great of a wrestler. He was not that great. Like, was that heel thing when he turned heel? Oh, this guy that was a good guy for so long turned a heel. And he was like the 3rd member. Remember when that whole like debacle? Who's the 3rd member? Who's the 3rd member? Who's the 3rd member?
You would think that Tophiachu would understand it at this point. She should know, like, be fully aware that people are going to say things just to get at her a little bit. I guarantee you it doesn't matter who you voted for. Like, even if you voted for Kamala, people are probably saying they voted for Trump in Tophiachu's chat. And right now, another big way people know to get under your skin is to mention that you spent some GoFundMe money. Most people understand that you haven't got a hold of it just yet, that you're just planning on spending it poorly. So when someone's saying, hey, you're using the GoFundMe money to buy this makeup, which is obviously something you did like a year ago, they're just doing it to get under your skin, and you've completely achieved their goal when you make a video about it crashing out for no reason, and this sends you into another spiral that lasts for like 20 or 30 minutes. And speaking of sharing too much, you can obviously tell that Tophiachu wants to tell us something so bad. Somewhere along the line, I'm starting to think that she met someone in the shelter, or someone introduced someone to her in the shelter, and she might be in a relationship, or she's thinking she might be about to get into one because she wants to brag about something so bad. And it's probably going to fall through. We'll figure out here soon. It can only be a couple more days because we know Tophiachu, once she's ready, she can't help herself but to bring something up. She's basically already telling us something here. But what I want to move on to real quick is her talking about Hulk Hogan. You know, however you feel about Hulk Hogan, I just want to say this. It's so crazy that Tophiachu can just like disrespect his legacy like that. Like, when you look back at the dude's career, like, you can tell that like he wasn't the best worker, but the reactions he was getting, he was like changing the game back then. So like, you can't look back at Hogan's career and just say, yeah, the wrestling was crappy. It's how he captivated the fans. It's kind of like The Rock. And I don't even watch wrestling, so you know, that's just my opinion on it. But one of the funny things, and like the main reason I'm talking about this, is like, you think Tophiachu would show him a little bit of respect, like not talk about him after, you know, what just happened just a few days ago, even if she didn't like the person, because Tophiachu has been saying for months that no one should talk about her or Brother Chu. Like, that is off the table. You can't do that. Just because she's a public figure does not give you the right to talk about it, and if you do, she's gonna take you to court. Like, you're in court immediately as soon as Tophiachu gets some money. We better all watch out when that sugar daddy comes around. Like, she doesn't understand how big of a hypocrite she's been. Hypocritical to the maximum, because she is also a public figure. Hulk Hogan, way bigger public figure. I mean, millions and millions and millions of people knew who Hulk Hogan was across the world. Tophiachu is not close to that level, but she is also a public figure. You would think from the way she talks that she isn't. Like, she's just a regular person on the internet who hasn't done a ton of terrible things. And that's also right along with Hulk Hogan. He's done tons of terrible things in the past, but so have you, Tophiachu. But why are you allowed to criticize him and no one's allowed to criticize you when you're upset? It just doesn't make any sense.
You know, one of these days I'm gonna pop out with an older man, and you're all gonna wish you never said that. Where's the sugar daddy at? I'm just kidding. And first of all, I said if I had someone, I don't have anybody. So why do you keep saying I'm pretending I have a boyfriend? I never said I had a boyfriend. If I was pretending, I would say, oh yeah, I have a boyfriend. His name is John Paul Walker III, okay? Or what is that guy's name? John Uppercrust III. Bradley Uppercrust III. I'm already a wife. Why would I need to get someone? I'm a wife already. I'm just joking. I don't cheat. Unlike some people who cheat. I am not a cheater. Blue in it because it'll wash me out. So I think I might. I do have a red.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm good. Actually, that's crazy. Wonder who that was. She had a bite. Our date, I already went on a date. Sorry. You're too late. I need someone who wants to spoil somebody and buy me some clothes. I need someone who is like, you know, there's people that would be like, oh, I want to see you wear that. So then they buy it for someone. you know? No, I want to get some dresses and I want to dress nicer. I know the Beatles more than you know the Beatles. We had this cool Beatles book. It was a very cool silver Beatles book, but someone took it because my mom wanted it, but my dad, he got in a manic episode and he started throwing everything away. He was like, I'm going to throw this away. All of this is garbage. My sewing machine, he tried to throw away my expensive Pokemon cards. He got into a mode where he was like, I'm going to throw everything away. It's garbage. His stuff wasn't garbage. Our stuff was garbage. Thank you for the gift points. And so anyways, my mom had this really cool Beatles book with pictures in it. It was like one of those books that you would like put on like a desk, like on a table as a centerpiece, you know, type thing. It was silver. And what happened was he put it out there to throw it away. And my mom said, I want to go get it. When she went to get it, someone had already gotten it. It was gone.
You can't even make this up. Tophiachu is obviously hinting at something. She's trying to tell everyone so bad. But when someone like actually confronts her with it, like, okay, Tophiachu, just say you either got a boyfriend or stop lying about it right now, because that's what you're doing. She gets mad and defensive. Like, Tophiachu, that is obviously what you're up to at the moment. And if you do have a boyfriend right now, like you kind of even said earlier that someone who potentially liked you was watching the stream, hopefully it's not another catfish, like exactly what happened a week ago. I'm going to reiterate how bad of a move this is. You always talk about being one step ahead of the trolls, how if the Reddit actually wrongs you, it could be gone in a minute, but you're willing to just walk into this acting like nothing happened just a short while ago. It's insane. You're obviously desperate at this point, or you're begging / hinting for someone to do it. Why lie about it? Just come out and say it. Like, Tophiachu is on the market. Make your love quest sign, just put it out in front of you when you're sitting at your spot around Sonic, and you know what? You'll probably get more attention, more likes on Instagram and TikTok. Like, those 12 million views bumping up to 20 million. Don't even worry about being the next Chris Chan. Papachu's the one in your family who thinks they're a prophet. And talking about the story that Tophiachu told about him, Papachu, just when you hear his backstory, he's done so many deplorable things. Like, he's the true degenerate of that family. He's the entire reason they ended up like this, like 100%. Every time you can think, I wonder why Tophiachu is like this, it's Papachu. And a little bit of her other family members, they didn't help either, but Papachu, he really cemented it all. When he was telling Tophiachu, you must be famous at all costs, you must be a millionaire, she took that to heart and she decided she was never going to work again. And how is he going to throw away the Pokemon cards? I mean, he definitely didn't know what he was doing. Who knows what Tophiachu had, but Tophiachu is 31 years old. She probably had some rare Pokemon cards. Not saying they were in any good condition, because that means a lot as well. But Papachu didn't even know he's throwing away potential gazillions. I couldn't imagine if he heard that nowadays, if he knew how much some Pokemon cards were going for, and if he threw them away and he knew it, oh man, the surrounding gas stations wouldn't even know what hit him. But I guess that's enough from me today, guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to comment, subscribe, like the video, follow all the socials down below, and I'll catch you guys next time.